So there are a few reference to eastward worship, to oriented worship, and worship. And by the way, if people, on your program maybe aren't used to thinking about this, the word orientation here is quite significant. We think of freshman orientation or job orientation. What does that mean? It means like we learn kind of orientation. What does that mean? It means like we learn kind of what's what about our job or where we're going. But orientation, when you think about it, means to face east. Oriens is the Latin for east, just like Occidental.
Oriental or something is an English word that means east.
Yeah, if you go to the Orient, you visit India or Japan or China or something like that. So it literally means east. And we learn from the scriptures, Genesis, that paradise was planted in the east.
Stop it. Get some help.
Was planted in the east. We learn furthermore in some of the prophecies about the Messiah coming to the world that he would be the Son, S-U-N, of righteousness. Isn't that Malachi's prophecy of the Messiah, that he is the S-U-N, like that kind of burning globe in the sky, Son of righteousness. And there's this idea that the sunrise now becomes a symbol, a cosmic symbol of the beyond cosmic reality of God's coming into this world, the kingdom of heaven.
Stop it. Get some help.
Son of man, seest thou what they do? Even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary? But turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations.
And he brought me to the door of the court, and when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. Then said he unto me,
Son of man, dig now in the wall.
And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. And he said unto me,
Go in and behold the wicked abominations that they do here.
So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping things, and abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel, portrayed upon the wall round about. And there stood before them 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel, and in the midst of them stood Jaazaniah the son of Shaphan, with every man his censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. Then said he unto me,
Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark, every man in the chambers of his imagery? For they say, The Lord seeth us not, the Lord hath forsaken the earth.
He said also unto me,
Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do.
Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Then said he unto me,
Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these.
And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house. And behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, with their backs toward the temple of the Lord, and their faces toward the east. And they worshipped the sun toward the east. Then he said unto me,
Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here? For they have filled the land with violence, and have returned to provoke me to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose. Therefore will I also deal in fury. Mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. And though they cry in mine ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them.
Sun of righteousness. And there's this idea that the sunrise now becomes a symbol, a cosmic symbol of the beyond cosmic reality of God's coming into this world, the kingdom of heaven drawing near to this world. And so all sorts of references can be made, but we could go to the New Testament too. Jesus says, I think, what is it? Is it Matthew 25? Maybe you could help me with this. I think it's there, where Jesus says that just as lightning strikes from the east, so the Son of Man will come in glory. And so
Stop it. Get some help.
morning, like that sense of like, this is something God created, a world in which a sun appears. We know it doesn't rise, but the earth spins, but a God created cosmos.
Stop it. Get some help.
The rising of the sun in the morning is given to us as a kind of symbol, cosmic symbol of an eternal reality. And that is that God is coming in brilliance and glory and beauty and blinding power. And so
Stop it. Get some help.
church, yes, the early church began worshiping facing east, facing the east, facing the sunrise.
Right.
Stop it. Get some help.
Still find this in modern Orthodox liturgical life, for instance. I'm sure you can find it in other non-Orthodox forms of liturgical life, but in the Orthodox Church, the service of matins, orthros, matins, that is the office of the morning that takes place during and kind of concludes when the sun rises, ideally. At the end of that, the priest raises his hands in the air and he says, "Glory to thee who has shown us the light." And the idea here is the sun is now rising, and that there's this fulfillment of the nighttime vigil, living through the darkness, as a symbol of this world, and Christ coming to us on this daily liturgical basis.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
These are.
There's a Greek Orthodox church near my house, and I was like, I drove by it after I've been reading your books, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure enough, it's a kind of a cross square, and yeah, sure enough, it is facing east. I'd driven by that building who knows how many times, and had never noticed that until you pointed that out. So.